Now is review a little bit about the parametrics. It's going to be a quick review. I don't want to go through too much because I know you guys have a lot to do. So what we're going to do is create a rectangle like so. Then I'm going to fill it the corners. I'm just going to do radius maybe 1. We'll see how that comes out. A little big, but that's fine. I don't mind. I'm going to explode this. So it's each separate piece. I lost my explode button. So each one's exploded. You can even change the colors for you guys if you want, but I think you guys can see that it is. So I have my parametrics toolbar here. If you don't have it, you can right click and get to parametric. And what we need to do is make all these work with each other. So my first aspect would be to make all of them, the ones that are joined, actually be joined. To do that, I'll use the coincident, which is this first one, which is your default option. And what you have to do is just click an area by the points, and you can see a blue point that comes up, and your actual parametrics considered adds on. If you don't do it that way, you might end up something like this, which is not what you want. So again, to get this right, you have to get close up, but not exactly at the corner, and you have to do it to every point that it's being connected from one line to the next. There we go. So I actually have, if everybody's doing the same shape, makes it a lot easier to grasp what I'm doing. Okay, and then there's one more right here. So again, you do all those until you're done. You get all these blue dots, which show that it's actually connected. So if I move this or stretch it, it stretches the rest because it's all connected. Now if I didn't have those, here, I'll just move it over, and let's say to delete, that's a delete constraint. So I just select that and I select the whole thing. If I move these, of course they're all separate pieces. In this one, they're not. So keep that in mind. Our next little tool, I want to make this one equal to this and this one equal to this. So I'll just go to my equal command right there. So that to that, that to that. As long as every time I'm doing that, they will be added in a little hidden kind of view. You can still see them. Zooming in and out helps with anything. I will make the base horizontal, the side vertical, and what I want to do next, make sure these are perpendicular to each other. So I make these edges perpendicular, all four. Alright, I guess I can't do those. So we got that. They're all. This one's equal to that, so they're perpendicular. And if you could also, if you want, you can make these equal. Actually, doesn't allow you to do that. Some of these constraints will not let you do that, so don't worry about that. I think that's all I need, really. I might need to add some more if later on. I can turn these off for now, so I can get a better view of my object. It's not that complex, but still. Yeah, I'm gonna actually dimension the base. Gotta type in maybe a more interesting number. And I'm going to do another one from here to here. It's the same as using dimensions, except you can type in and it adjusts the whole object to your specifications. I will probably test on your final. Once you have it complete and ready, you just call me up. I will test a specified height, and if it works, it works. You count it for. If it doesn't, then you can fix it or take the score you get. So again, I'll explain that a little bit later. I have that. Again, if you go to your directory or your parameter manager, you'll see that each one is specified and then their actual size is right here. You can actually change it and you'll see your image change. It's got stretched to 2. You can even change the names of it. So this is base, base, and this is height. Now if I go over here, base, height. It's an option. You can turn these off, I'll turn them on, turn on the constraints, everything's set. Another option to do this in a quick and easy way, you don't have to stress out which ones you're missing or not, and I'm not going to tell you guys if it's going to work on your final or not, but if you do a box, and let's say you do have those fillets, and again I gotta explode this. What you can do is the auto constraint, which was one of the questions on your final. So you take the auto constraint, you select your whole object, and it does all the constraints for you. Again, I'll do this one more time because this isn't a hint. If I do auto constraint, select the whole object, click enter, it gives you all the constraints. So now if I decide to move this one, it stretches out the item, so everything is actually consistent. So that's the basis of the parametrics. I will give you guys a project that you have to draw out with a few dimensions, and I'll tell you what you guys will have to establish the parametrics yourselves. So there you go. If anybody has any questions,